Hello, my name is Salis Charming, and I'm with the Pole Circuit. We have one of our judges here, the famous and very popular Deb Roach. How are you?
Hi, Salis. It's nice to meet you. I'm really good. We're here at my studio, Stargazer in Sydney. I just taught my morning classes, so I'm really excited that that's finished, and now I have time to chat with you.
Yeah. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about being a business owner and like any advice that you might have for somebody who wants to open a studio or just about the business in general?
I didn't think that I wanted to be a studio owner because
Oh,
when I was a teacher, I was teaching at the London Dance Academy, so London Academy of Pole Dancing, for a long time, and I worked there also in reception and admin as well as marketing with them. And it's so much work. And they have a huge pole dancing school, so they have something like 50 instructors on the books at any one time, and it was super busy, and you have to look after the maintenance and all these different things that you need to be responsible for. And I was like, wow, that's a really big job, and I don't think I'm cut out for it. I really like the teaching part. I don't think I want to do any of the other things. But then when I moved back to Australia at the end of 2016, I was moving back to look after my mum, and I just looked for the nearest pole studio to her house, and this studio came up. And I fell in love with the system that they use here. So I'd originally started doing pole under a term basis, and you'd learn set moves in the term. And because I have a different body, I have a very different learning pace to other people. I excel in some areas and really struggle in others. So that curriculum syllabus that was like, you work on these moves for 8 weeks, that didn't serve me at all. And when I came here to this studio, we have this app, and we have the pole at your own pace system. So there's 10 moves in every level, but there's the fluidity to move forward and back because the level is connected to me as a person. And so I can take my time to work on those things that I really struggle with and just keep moving forward with limits. We have limits to how far forward otherwise it's a mess. But so being able to still progress in certain arenas while taking my time to work on the things that I was struggling with. So when I started teaching here and seeing how powerful and effective this was to give people like the time and the space to really connect with and enjoy their pole journey in a way that suits and serves them, when it came up for sale, I had to have it. I had to do it.
You didn't have a choice. It was made for you.
Yeah, it meant so much to me to be able to offer this system to do things differently, and I'm really invested in making that available to people and telling people about it and including them in it. And there are lots of people that traditional system does serve, but I just wasn't one of them, and so this is real for me. This is my authentic love and passion for this way.
So I'm not familiar with the app or the system over there. How does that really work? We're stuck in
my studio. It's a proprietary app. It's called the Stargazer app, and it's our syllabus that's got like every level has more than 150 moves and combos. So if you're a beginner, you've learned over 150 different skills. In our elementary level, there's something more like 200 skills, and then in intermediate there's even more. So by the time you get to advanced, you're a machine.
You've done it all.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so what struggles have you encountered with your pole journey and being a little different than everybody else? Do you have any recommendations for other people like you?
So the process of being a student that had different needs to other students was a difficult one for me. And it always has been when it came to physical activity. So for the first kind of 25 years of my life, I didn't really do very much sport or physical activity because it was really challenging to get what I needed, because what I needed was so different. And
Yes.
all that, when I was in a class environment and a group environment, it was definitely constructed to serve the
Mm,
majority, and
yes.
it never really worked out for me, and I always felt left behind, and
Mhm.
kind of unimportant as well.
Okay.
So it was an interesting journey to like have that confidence. My first instructors were incredible. They were really patient. They were really thoughtful. They'd try to do things with just one hand to see if it was
Mhm.
possible. They were really
Mhm.
strong. But, I also had to learn my boundaries of allowing the other students to learn, but also asking for that time and not take too much of the time away from the rest of the community, because we're all there to learn. It's not just about me. It's about everyone being equally
Mhm.
um, taught and coached. So, making sure I was heard enough to find new ways and facilitate the same learning journey as other people, but also knowing that I had to have some boundaries as well to not overstep and make it just about me. I think the biggest struggle for people living with both visible and invisible disabilities is having the courage to stand up and say that you need different things. That's a big step. And it can be a combination of embarrassment, shame, not wanting to impose on other people, not wanting to take away from the experience of the crowd. And I just really want to encourage people who do need more help to learn and to get what they need from their pole class to ask. Just ask. It doesn't cost you anything, to have that conversation, be brave and have the conversation.
That's actually great advice and really amazing. I created the pole circus trying to make it all inclusive for everybody because a lot of people don't know. I did put it on the website, but I am disabled as well. I have hearing loss. And so I read lips. And I feel like, I struggled with that, obviously different than other people struggled, but it is something where you kind of feel different or you kind of feel a little left out or kind of picked on. And it's just not a good feeling. So I created the pole circus, try to make it like everybody welcomed, we are all one, all here
Yeah.
to enjoy the arts. And so that's really amazing. The next question we have is, da, 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 da. What made you get into pole?
Well, I love this story. So I was a DJ and a stage dancer in goth and industrial nightclubs, and so in the early noughties, so a long time ago. And there was this fascination that I had with circus, and a number of my friends had also started to really develop this fascination with circus and performing arts and pole and aerialists and being really strong. So strong and creative and athletic. So we loved dance, but we were starting to develop this fascination with something a little bit more and a little bit different. And I had the chance to DJ and stage dance at this event called Bloodlust Carnival, and it was circus themed. And I saw for the first time, two of my friends did a pole routine, a doubles pole routine, and they were marionette puppets, and they told the story of breaking free of their strings. Yeah, it was really cool. And it was like, they, had stripy socks and pigtails, and it was like pole dancing. And of course, it's sexy, but this was circus on a
Yeah.
pole. So it really melded the two worlds. And their routine was it was a great piece of storytelling. I was absolutely blown away by it. And I was backstage with them afterwards, and I was like, "You lucky girls with your two hands and your fancy pole dancing. That's the best thing I've ever seen. I wish I could do that." And they said to me, "Well, have you tried?" And I was like, what could I do? Like, I can dance with my feet and my hips and my bum, but like, I didn't know that I was capable of anything more than that. And they challenged me to answer that question, to ask, can I do more than what I think I can do? And the answer was yes. And I went in for a class with them. They were my teachers. And it changed my life. It changed the way I'm going to cry. It changed the way I saw myself and my body. And I'd always wanted to be like, I had eating disorders growing up because it was something I could control about how people see me. And and when I started pole, suddenly what was way more important was being strong enough to do the things that I wanted to do and to make the shapes and to perform the art form that I wanted to. So it really helped heal that relationship with my body and I was just so amazed what I was capable of. I had no idea. I didn't know. So I had so much regret as well of like spending 25 years selling myself short because I'd never been in an environment that challenged me to take my time and explore what I was capable of. So it was really transformational for me.
That's such an amazing story. And I think it's very brave of you to be so vulnerable and open up to everybody like that. Like, that's very admirable. And I agree with pole. I feel like there's all different types of bodies, and we really celebrate each other. If you're thin, if you're not, if you're pear shaped, banana shaped, what is it, soda, there's like all these shapes for women's bodies now. Yeah, we do try to celebrate each other, but that's great to share. And I think it's important for me to share my story and you share your story, so everybody can feel like they can be a part of this as well. So that's what we're trying to share, right? You're to like, come on, try the aerial arts, try pole, try hoop, try silk. We'll be here for you. And I think that's very special. Yes. So talking about pole, what is one of your favorite tricks?
I love meat hook.
Oh.
I would rather meat hook into something than invert into something, because it's a unilateral move.
Yeah.
So I use that as one of my favorite transitions. Yeah, I love meat hooks. And I really love suicide spin.
Oh, yes.
Hook for me, go.
And go. Another question we got was, do you ever get nervous when you're teaching or performing, and how do you manage those jitters? What do you recommend?
Teaching is it's my passion, so I don't really get nervous about teaching. I get very excited about teaching because I plan my warm-ups, create my playlist, make sure we have a different theme for every month here at the studio. So we have like the January jump start, where we have the jump, where the playlist is themed around, and we have just cool little dances and things like that. And
we love all your videos. Much fun on Instagram. All your silly.
We have a lot of fun. Yeah. And so I'm really passionate about teaching and sharing that joy and good energy with people in this space. But with performing, I still get nervous. There's a lot of preparation to go in, and then you never really know if it's not your poles what it's going to be like on the day. So you try and train as much as you can. I make sure I'm as prepared as I possibly can be. And sometimes, usually you learn along the way all the tips and tricks and have a resource kit so that you can make it work. But there are still times that it goes wrong. In April this year, so that's our fall. Normally it's quite, we're Sydney, it's normally quite nice. You would normally have 22-degree days. We happened to have a really windy, cold 16-degree day where I needed to do an outdoor pole performance. And I have a choice of poles. So I've got powder coated or brass or the silicon one, but I'd already created my routine to serve that audience. It was a disability pride march. And so I really didn't want to use the silicon pole because it rips with the costume that I had for that performance, it would rip my skin off. And I chose the brass, and I should have chose the powder coat. So, it's always learning curves where, I felt like I was going to die. The pole was so cold.
Yeah, I felt like I was
being hair whip, round and round pivot turn. It's not that much I could do.
That one?
No, probably not. Yeah, I think I did it because I put some eye tack behind my knee. So stick. But there was very little else that I could do. But the crowd was still really appreciative of me being there in costume and performing for them. So that was great. But it wasn't the routine that I wanted to do. But yes, there's still
Oh
always
my God.
nerves, and it's always, that means you still care. That means you're
Yeah.
still really invested in doing the best show that you can, and showcasing what pole is for everyone, not just how good you are as a professional, but our sport and our art form, because some people still really discredit us. So it makes me that little bit more motivated and invested in doing a good job.
So we're coming to the end of the interview. Was there anything else you wanted to add or say to anybody watching?
No, I think you've asked some really great questions, and I really enjoyed watching and judging the pole circus performers. It's great to see, like, because I see my students so often, and obviously we're running Glimmer, so I've seen like some of the students in the local area and what they're up to. But to see people from all over the world participating and competing has been really special. So I've really enjoyed this, and so good on you for running such an inclusive and diverse event.
Oh, thank you. I was just, like I said, I was just trying to create something where we could all kind of come together, but it has kind of exploded to something a little bigger than I imagined, which is really cool because we have so many different countries and we've crossed continents, and it just like blows my mind. But it's good to see what the future has in store for the circus, right?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, so this is the end of our interview. I want to say thank you, everybody, for stopping by. I am Salis.
Oh, sorry.
Say goodbye, Deb.
Bye. Thanks for watching, everyone.
See you soon. Check us out October 24th at the Pole Circus Virtual. Bye-bye.